Hey guys, and welcome to today's First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a brand new unreleased game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Thrive, which is an early access title that comes out on the 26th of November. It is heavily steeped in science and a game that makes me realise just how stupid I really am. However, it is really pretty to look at, the soundtrack is incredible, and for an alpha game that comes out to early access, I am very impressed so far. I have no idea what I'm doing, I have no idea what any of it means, and yet I'm enthralled by it. As always, we're going to look through the multitude of options and other things that this game has to offer, and then we'll jump into the actual gameplay itself. So let's not waste any time. Okay, so at first glance, there really isn't a lot here to sort of delve into. They could very much add more to it. Even though it is a sort of top-down 2D game, they could definitely make more of it than what they have. Again, though, this is in early alpha, so expect changes to be made. The first and most glaring problem I would say that I've discovered is that you can't actually change the resolution and you can't change the FPS. What you can do, however, is put VSync on or off and you're full screen. This I'm hoping is going to get changed because although resolution auto is fine for the most part, I've had it on previous games where auto selects like 720p but not scaled properly. Same with the FPS, like having the FPS limited at 400 isn't really ideal for lower end machines. So hopefully they do change that. Now they've got colorblind correction as well, which is nice and very much needed. I've kind of kept it on bog standard settings and I've struggled quite a bit with the colors. There are a few of them that look very similar, and the fact that they've recognized this early on and put colorblind mode in is fantastic news. Then you've got a chromatic aberration, which I have no idea what that does. Display abilities bar and enable GUI light effects. Pretty standard stuff. It would be nice, again, if there was more in this. But for an early alpha, this is more than acceptable. Your sound volumes. Again, the soundtrack is fantastic. Help translate the game is a nice thing here. I don't know why it's in the sound option though. This would probably be better in miscellaneous, to be honest. Unless they're planning on bringing in voice acting later on. This is in the wrong section. Performance wise, I'm going to be honest, this is something for people with more tech skills and knowledge than what I have. I've left it on just auto with everything because I have no idea. Apparently the higher numbers increase performance, but honestly my machine hasn't struggled, so I've just left it on what it started with. Same with the cloud resolution divisor. But if they're going to put more of this in, maybe tooltips to explain what it actually does, outside of that one little bit there. Maybe a few more tooltips on here for the computer illiterate that have just bought themselves a new PC, for example. Your inputs, so you've got all of these things. It does explain this in the tutorial rather well, so you can do all that. I like the fact they've got cheats. I do like the fact they've got cheats in the game. That's something really nice to see. I'm very happy with that. And then your miscellaneous there, which is just your intro video and all the other nonsense. I like the fact you can access your logs folder and the screenshot folder as well, and you can debug it if needed. Cheat keys enabled and use a custom username, etc, etc. I'm a fan of that. It's pretty damn cool. Overall, for an early alpha build, very encouraging. Some things need changing, some things need adding, but overall very impressive. Let's look into the game and see if that is as impressive as the options menu. Alright, here we are. We are a blob that is about to die on this save, but that's fine. I've got plenty of population. It will respawn me in just a second. Interestingly enough, that actually highlights one of the problems with this game that I'm hoping they add in. This game desperately needs a minimap so I can see what I'm doing and where I'm going, or the ability to zoom out a bit further than what I actually have. you can't really see where you're going or what you're going towards, and that means that your survival rate is not very high. If I'd have known that was there, if I could have seen that was there, I could have carried on going and not lost one of my germs. As you can see, the population is 252 right now. You need glucose in order to keep yourself alive. If you can't find any glucose, then you will die. The movement system in this game is strange, but it kind of works. Basically, the idea is that you spin and rotate your blob by moving your mouse. Wherever your mouse is painting is where you're sort of moving towards. Now, in the tutorial, it actually shows you WASD to get you used to the movement, and then that disappears. As you can see, I'm around blob, so it's quite hard to work out which way I'm facing outside of just pressing W until I move in the direction that my cursor is in. So that could probably do with either having WASD or a directional thing or north or something on the blob itself to help sort of keep you going where you want to go. And as you can see, again, we've run into the same problem. No glucose. Without glucose, my exploration days and my gathering days and my farming days and all that are kind of over. Generally, from what I've seen, these pink things are bad. You want to stay away from those. And then depending on the color of the cloud that you find, and if you hover over it, it will come up in the top right AT cursor to show you what's in those clouds of what you need. In the bottom right, you will see a DNA pool. When that becomes full of the things that you need, you will then be able to upgrade and become better and evolve as you go. It's a really interesting and very cool idea. I'm a big fan. However, the experience is ruined by the fact that I don't know where I'm going, and as a result, I die pretty quickly. And if you die completely, then game over, not for you. Another thing is kind of weird in that you can't, unless you've got your cheat modes on, obviously, you can't go into your DNA map. So I can't show you until we've actually got enough to go in. But you've got your DNA map and you've got a number of things that you can change. So you can adapt to your surroundings a bit better. We're going to die again. This isn't ideal. And again, there's just nothing here, but I can't see where there is something, which is a bit of a shame. It's a very simple change that would make this game a lot more playable, and it would increase accessibility quite a bit as well. It's just a mini-map. I know I keep going on about it, but it's legitimately ruining the experience. The reason why I say that this game is a game that makes me feel dumb is because it explains all about the different things that you get in. And when you are able to actually get into your DNA map and stuff, it explains everything and uses big words that I have no idea what they are, how to pronounce them, or what they mean. This is a problem for me. It doesn't necessarily interrupt or ruin my experience of the game, but it definitely has an impact. I think we're going to be alright here. I think we've got what I need to be able to show you the patch map. Barely, maybe, possibly. Are we gonna gather enough phosphate to do this before we die? I think we are. There you go. Nailed it. Right. Perfect. So I can show you this map. Now you've got a graph of the species list and all of this really cool stuff. It shows you what you did in your last one, your external effects and stuff. You can auto evo, you can food chain, you can timeline. And you hit next, it takes you to your patch map. So I am currently able to not move there. So I can move to different patches. So this one, which is where I am at the minute, is not really ideal. Not really ideal for where I want to be. So we're going to move back here. Right, we're going to move to that patch there. And then you go to your editor. And this is where it gets really cool and really complicated. And it hurts my brain. You've got structural, proteins, external, organelles. All these different cool things that you can do. I don't know what any of it means. It advises you in the tutorial to just stick with cytoplasm, which is what I've done. Then you've got your membrane, which is where you can edit it. You can change your color, make it look as cool and duty as you like. You can change how fluid it is, how rigid it is, all that good stuff. You can change this. It was on normal. I've changed it to double, which seems like a really dumb idea. I don't know why I did that. Can I engulf? Minus 40 health. Can I engulf? Got toxin resistance there. Minus absorption speed. Right, so I want that one then. I don't know what engulf means, but why can I not? Because I haven't got enough mutation points. Right, so we're going to stick it on. We're going to keep it on there anyway. And then you've got your sort of your behavior. So you can have it more aggressive if you like. And then you can use your last of your points to sit and build it out and make it a bit of a bigger blob. It's all very, very in-depth and very, very cool. These descriptions, however, really do give me a headache, but that is just purely a me thing. If you're into science, if you're into discovery, and if you're into the whole like genome sort of genre, this game's going to be perfect for you. If you like just trying to survive and seeing what awesome, really cool stuff you can do, this game's also for you. This game, you don't need to be smart to enjoy it, but it certainly helps. I'm enjoying my time on it. I just, like I say, the map or a mini-map or something, a detector which can allow me to get to where I need to be quicker would be nice. I think I'm going to be able to get to the glucose before I die a horrible death, which is always good. I think. Yeah, there you go. Get the glucose up. Job's a good one. If they sort the minimap out, if they add some of the options in that I'd like to see, if they make those, I think they're onto a winner. They don't really need to do much else. The fact that they've got a really good colorblind mode as well, even though I'm not using it. The fact that you've got a decent amount of customization. It would be nice if your blob actually changed when you changed some bits. Like, so far, I've not seen much of an actual change, right? So maybe more of a physical change when you upgrade would be good as well. But that's basically what you do. You go through. We're going to stay where we are in the patch map because it looks quite cool. I've got 100 to use, so I'm going to go to my membrane. I'm going to switch to that one real quick. And then we're going to go back to structure. And we're going to build out. I'm going to see what it looks like when we're done. See if it's changed the ability. It looks like I've made somebody to spread out. So as you can see, my population's increasing here, which is good. Because the more population I've got, the more chances I've got to continue. Because obviously if I die and bad things happen, it's never good. Overall, solid game. Very impressed. Early alpha. It can only go up from here. So let me know in those comments down below, guys, what you think. Whether you think this is a good game, whether you think it's a good premise, whether you think all of the science talk is too much for your head, like it is for me. And thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all next time.